Hello, I'm here to talk to you about something that all of us, absolutely all of us, experience at some point in our lives. That knot in your stomach, that inner voice whispering you're not enough, that feeling that, for some reason, you've lost your way, the certainty in your steps. I'm talking about the loss of self-confidence. Perhaps you're experiencing it right now. Maybe a failure has knocked you down. Criticism has hurt more than expected. A relationship has left you vulnerable. Or simply, the weight of life has made you doubt your own abilities. I want you to know that this isn't a personal flaw. It's not a sign of inherent weakness. It's an unavoidable part of the human experience. Confidence isn't a permanent state. It's a muscle that atrophies if not used, and that gets damaged by blows. But here's the good news: just as it's lost, it can be rebuilt. And to do so, we don't need empty promises or magic solutions. We need real, deep, and proven tools. This is where Stoicism, an ancient philosophy, offers us an invaluable compass. Stoicism doesn't promise you a life without problems. That would be a lie. What it does promise you is a way to face those problems with a courage and calm that will make you feel in control of yourself, no matter what happens. The goal of this video is simple yet transformative. We're going to explore 10 powerful Stoic pieces of advice. These aren't cheap self-help cliches, but rather profound principles applicable to daily life. They're designed so that, little by little, you rebuild that confidence, brick by brick, from the inside out. Listen with an open mind, reflect, and prepare to act, because your confidence, your true security, is waiting for you to reclaim it. Advice number 1, accept it. You're broken, and that's okay. Visual transition, an image suggesting something fractured but not destroyed, like a rock with a crack from which a plant sprouts, or a kintsugi vase. The first, and perhaps most difficult, step to rebuilding confidence is the most counterintuitive one: accepting where you are. That means acknowledging without shame or judgment that, yes, right now, you feel vulnerable, insecure, or even broken. Losing confidence isn't the end of your story. It's a temporary state, just another stop on the journey. Think about the times life has hit you: a major project failure, a relationship ending, an unexpected layoff, or that time you dared to try something and it went spectacularly wrong. The natural reaction is to hide, blame yourself, feel ashamed. We tell ourselves we're weak, that we shouldn't feel this way. But the Stoics, with their deep understanding of human nature, knew that admitting weakness is the first step to strengthening it. Denying your current state is like trying to build a house on quicksand. Accepting that you're broken isn't surrender. It's an act of brutal honesty with yourself. It's taking off the mask of invulnerability and facing your vulnerability head on. When you do this, you strip shame of its power. Shame feeds on secrecy, on the feeling that you're the only one who feels this way. But the truth is, everyone, even the most confident people you know, has walked through this valley. Imagine a warrior wounded in battle. Do they feel ashamed of their wound? No. They accept it, bandage it, and prepare to heal and fight again. Your loss of confidence is a wound. Observe it without judgment. Yes, I'm doubting myself right now. Yes, I feel vulnerable. And that's part of my experience, not the totality of who I am. This is a radical act of Stoic self-compassion. It's not self-indulgence. It's the recognition that you are human, that you have limitations, and that you face challenges. Only by accepting where you are can you begin to map out where you want to go. The rebuilding of confidence begins not at the top of the mountain, but at its foot, with the honest admission of your starting point. The act of naming your struggle, "I feel insecure, I'm doubting my abilities," is powerful. It takes the abstract fear and makes it concrete, manageable. It's like turning on a light in a dark room. The monsters don't disappear, but you can finally see them for what they are, rather than what your imagination makes them out to be. This acceptance also fosters a sense of realism. Instead of chasing an impossible ideal of constant perfection, you embrace the messy, iterative process of growth. This realistic perspective reduces the pressure to be someone you're not, allowing you to focus on who you can become, one authentic step at a time. So, breathe deeply. Allow yourself to feel what you feel. Acknowledge that feeling of fragility. And then, tell yourself, firmly and without self-deception, "Yes, I am broken right now, and that's okay. From here, from this truth, I will begin to rebuild myself." It's the first brave step, and it's the one that frees you to move forward. Advice number 2, work on your character, not your image. Visual transition, an image of a tree with deep, strong roots, visibly anchored to the earth, while its branches might be swaying in the wind. True and lasting confidence isn't a superficial varnish. It doesn't come from external applause. the number of likes you get on social media, or what others think of you. Genuine confidence, the kind that sustains you in difficult times, is born from how you see yourself when you're alone, when no one is watching, when you face your own thoughts and actions. Invest in your character, in your honesty, your consistency, your integrity, your ability to keep your word to yourself. That's what truly sustains self-esteem. Imagine you promise yourself to wake up early to work on a personal project, but you stay in bed. Every time you break a small promise to yourself, even if no one else knows, your self-confidence erodes. It's a silent crack in your foundation. Conversely, every time you keep a promise to yourself, no matter how small, whether it's finishing a task you've been postponing, telling the truth even if it's uncomfortable, or going to the gym when you don't feel like it, you're laying another brick in the building of your self-confidence. It's not about grand heroic gestures, but about the daily accumulation of small actions that demonstrate your reliability to yourself. The Stoics were obsessive about cultivating character. For them, virtue excellence of character was the highest good. They knew that if you were an honest, just, courageous, and temperate person, the opinions of others were secondary. Your intrinsic worth didn't depend on external validation. When your character is solid, your confidence doesn't falter with criticism, nor does it collapse with failure. You know who you are, what you stand for, and what you're capable of, because you've proven it to yourself through your actions. You don't need others' approval to feel valuable. This deep internal work on character is the antithesis of faking it till you make it. It's about actually becoming it. It's about building an unshakable inner core that no external praise or criticism can fundamentally alter. Your worth is self-generated, not granted by others. Consider the weight of integrity. When your words and actions align, not just for others, but for yourself, you create an internal harmony that breeds confidence. You trust yourself because you are consistently proving yourself trustworthy. This consistency builds an inner sanctuary of security. So, ask yourself, what kind of person do I want to be when no one is watching? Am I that person in my daily actions? Confidence isn't something you search for. It's something you build through the consistency between your values and your behaviors. It's the profound certainty that, no matter what happens outside, you can trust the person you are on the inside. Advice number 3. Do what you must, not what you feel like. Visual transition. An image of a person climbing a rustic ladder, with the goal visible at the top, or someone concentrating on a difficult but meaningful task. We live in a culture that sells us the idea that we should follow our impulses, do only what we feel like doing at the moment, and seek comfort at all costs. The Stoic, however, doesn't seek comfort. They seek growth, personal progress, and the development of their character. And growth, I assure you, is rarely comfortable. Self-confidence isn't built by giving into laziness or immediate pleasure. It's forged in the crucible of deliberate effort, of doing what you know is right and necessary, even when your body or mind screams resistance. Start doing uncomfortable things daily. These small daily battles are your confidence workouts. Do you want to feel more confident? Force yourself to wake up early, even if your bed calls to you. Get up and do something meaningful before the world wakes up. Every day you conquer that small battle, you prove to your brain that you're capable of overcoming resistance. Do you want to be a braver person? Tell the truth, even if it's uncomfortable. Face that difficult conversation you've been postponing. Take that first step towards a dream that terrifies you. Every time you force yourself to do the difficult thing, despite the fear, you're expanding your comfort zone and building unshakable confidence. This isn't an invitation to self-imposed torture. It's an invitation to personal mastery. When you consistently choose what you must do over what you feel like doing, you are taking control of your will. You are proving to yourself that you are the master of your impulses, not their slave. Each time you overcome an uncomfortable action, no matter how small, you feel a wave of quiet pride. That's confidence growing. It's the certainty that, even if life throws obstacles at you, you have the inner capacity to face and overcome them. This principle directly counters the modern emphasis on following your passion. Without the necessary foundational work, passion can ignite the spark, but discipline and effort keep the fire burning. Even when passion wanes, your commitment to your long-term goals is a more reliable compass than fleeting desires. Think of building a habit. It's uncomfortable at first. Your brain resists the new pattern, but each repetition, each time you choose the required effort, you rewire your neural pathways. You build a new default, a new identity, one rooted in discipline and capability. So, the next time you face a choice between easy comfort and necessary effort, choose the effort. Choose what builds you, not what entertains you. That is the hard but rewarding path to solid, lasting confidence. Advice number 4. You don't need to feel confident to act. Visual transition. A person on the edge of a diving board or a cliff, ready to jump, with an expression of concentration rather than joy, or a hand reaching out to grasp something in the darkness. One of the biggest traps we fall into when confidence falters is waiting to feel confident before taking action. We tell ourselves, when I feel more prepared, when I have all the information, when the doubt disappears, then I'll do it. But the raw truth is that confidence doesn't come before action. It comes as a result of it. It's a vicious cycle. You don't act because you don't feel confident. And by not acting, you never generate the necessary evidence to feel confident. To break this cycle, you need an act of faith, an act of courage. You need to act even if you're afraid. Think of any new skill you've learned. Did you feel confident the first time you tried to ride a bike or spoke in public? Most likely, you felt clumsy, nervous, and even afraid. But you got on the bike, you stood in front of the audience, you fell, you stammered, but you did it. And with each attempt, with each small victory, your confidence grew. The Stoic understands that action is the engine of confidence. Courage is not the absence of fear, but the willingness to act despite it. Every time you take a step, however small, towards your goals, despite doubt, you are sending a powerful message to your brain. I am capable. I can do this. Don't be paralyzed by the pursuit of perfection or total security. That's an illusion. Life is movement. Confidence is forged on the battlefield of experience, not in the stillness of inaction. This is where the rubber meets the road. It's the point of decision where you either let your fear dictate your life, or you decide to lead your life despite your fear. The first step, however small, is always the hardest, but it's also the most important. Embrace the idea of acting as if. Act as if you are already confident, and your mind will begin to catch up with your behavior. This isn't about deception. It's about changing your internal state to external input. If you have a dream, a goal, a change you want to make in your life, don't wait for confidence to magically invade you. Take the first step, no matter how uncomfortable. Then, the second, and the third. Each of those steps will give you the evidence you need, fuel your security, and allow you to move forward. Confidence isn't a prerequisite for starting. It's the reward for having started. Advice number 5. Learn from your mistakes without punishing yourself. Visual transition. A person looking at a map with an error marked, but with a pencil in hand correcting it, or an hourglass being flipped, symbolizing a new cycle of learning. On the path of life and confidence building, failure and error are inevitable companions. There is no flawless trajectory to success. However, how we handle those mistakes determines whether they weaken us or strengthen us. Failing at something doesn't mean you are a failure. It means you are learning, you are trying, you are alive. The trap here is self-punishment. After a mistake, our mind often becomes our worst judge, bombarding us with criticism, regret, and shame. I'm useless. I should have known better. I never should have tried. This toxic internal dialogue erodes confidence faster than any external failure. The Stoics were masters in the art of self-reflection without self-flagellation. They recommended a powerful exercise, reviewing your mistakes every night, not to wallow in misery, but to learn from them. Ask yourself, what went wrong? What could I have done differently? What invaluable lesson can I extract from this? And once you've learned, let it go and sleep in peace. This process of dispassionate analysis allows you to separate the event, the mistake, from your identity, who you are. The mistake is an action or a result. It does not define your worth as a person. It is an opportunity to improve, not a sentence of guilt. Imagine you're building a tower with blocks. If a block falls, do you punish yourself for it and abandon the tower? No. You pick up the block, analyze why it fell. Perhaps the base was unstable, or you placed it incorrectly, and try again with the new information. Each fall makes you a better builder. Self-compassion isn't weakness, it's a strategic strength. When you're kind to yourself during setbacks, you allow your brain to process information more effectively, leading to better solutions rather than paralysis. This kindness nurtures your ability to persevere. The Stoics' nightly review isn't about dwelling on regrets, but about proactive self-improvement. It's like a daily mental debriefing, where you extract the data from your experiences, integrate the lessons, and then consciously release the emotional baggage. So, the next time you make a mistake, pause, feel the frustration or disappointment. But don't linger there. Ask yourself what you learned, and then, with the lesson in hand, let it go. Free yourself from paralyzing guilt and allow every mistake to be a stepping stone, not an abyss. Advice number 6. Surround yourself with environments that build you, not destroy you. Visual transition. A hand parting dry, toxic branches to reveal a clear, luminous view, or a group of strong, healthy people climbing together. Your confidence is a delicate garden, and the environment you move in acts like the sun, water, or pests. If you are constantly surrounded by negative people, cynical, complaining, or immersed in toxic environments of constant criticism, gossip, or mediocrity, your confidence will slowly erode, almost without you noticing. It's an undeniable truth. We are the average of the 5 people we spend the most time with. If those 5 people drag you down, belittle your dreams, mock your attempts, or fill you with doubts, your self-confidence has no room to flourish. It's like trying to grow a plant in barren soil. The Stoics, while emphasizing inner strength, also recognized the importance of the environment. They knew that, although you couldn't control others, you could control who you allowed access to your mind and your energy. The solution is clear. Seek people and environments that push you to be better, not that drag you down. Surround yourself with individuals who inspire you, who celebrate your victories, who support you in your failures, who challenge you to grow, and who share your values of effort, honesty, and self-improvement. This doesn't mean being elitist or discarding lifelong friends. It means being conscious and selective with your time and energy. If a relationship drains you more than it nourishes you, it's time to set boundaries. If a work environment poisons your soul, it's time to seek alternatives. The subtle, insidious nature of negative environments is often underestimated. It's not a sudden blow, but a constant drip, drip, drip that wears down your spirit and whispers doubts into your mind. You become accustomed to it, and that's the danger. Being proactive about your environment is an act of Stoic self-preservation. It's recognizing that your mental space is sacred and must be protected from external pollutants. This might involve uncomfortable conversations or difficult decisions, but your well-being is worth it. Have the courage to prune the dry branches of your surroundings. It is a crucial investment in your mental health and in the rebuilding of your confidence. A nurturing environment will remind you of your potential even when you doubt it, and that is invaluable. Advice number 7. Be patient with your process. Visual transition. A time-lapse of a plant slowly growing from a seed, or a craftsman patiently working on a complex piece over time. In a world of quick fixes and instant results, it's easy to fall into despair when confidence isn't recovered overnight. But the truth is that confidence isn't a switch you turn on or off. It's a muscle that is trained, strengthened over time, and sometimes even seems to regress before truly moving forward. Haste is the enemy of patience and, therefore, of lasting confidence. If you expect your personal security to be restored in a week after years of erosion, you will get frustrated and give up. This is a process, not a magical event. Think of any great achievement: building a house, writing a book, running a marathon. None of them happen overnight. They require a series of small, consistent steps, patience in the face of setbacks, and the faith that sustained effort will bear fruit. Your confidence is the same. The Stoics preached the virtue of patience and perseverance. They knew that nature doesn't rush, yet everything is accomplished. Rome wasn't built in a day, nor will your character or your confidence be. There will be days when you feel strong and secure, and days when doubt will whisper to you again. This is normal. Don't punish yourself for it. Recognize these setbacks as part of the process. Learn from them and keep going. Every small action you take to rebuild your confidence, every promise you keep to yourself, every fear you face is like a repetition in the gym of your mind. The results are not immediately visible, but the consistent accumulation will make you stronger than you imagine. This isn't just about waiting. It's about active patience. It means consistently applying the other 9 principles, even when the immediate feedback isn't what you hoped for. It's the quiet determination to keep planting seeds, knowing that growth is happening, even if it's invisible beneath the surface. Embrace the nonlinear nature of growth. There will be plateaus, detours, and moments of apparent stagnation. These are not failures but phases of integration, rest, or recalibration. Trust the process. Be kind to yourself during this journey. Celebrate small progress. Don't compare yourself to anyone else, because every process is unique. Your only task is to be a little better today than you were yesterday. Patience isn't passivity. It's the calm determination to keep moving forward, one step at a time, knowing that time and consistency are on your side. Advice number 8. Talk less. Do more visual transition. A person with their mouth sealed in a thoughtful gesture, while their hands are active in a task, or a silhouette climbing a hill while others talk around them. It's a common temptation when confidence falters to talk a lot about what you're going to do, to proclaim your plans, your intentions, your future victories. We seek in others' approval or attention as substitute for the inner security we lack. But the raw truth is that genuine confidence is built not with words, but with concrete actions. Stop telling the world what you're going to do and start doing it. Confidence is the result of experience, of the accumulated evidence that you are capable. And that evidence is only generated through silent, consistent action. Every time you announce an ambitious plan and then fail to follow through, you're sending a negative message to your own subconscious. My words have no weight. My commitments are not reliable. This erodes your self-confidence more than you think. Conversely, every time you complete a task, achieve a small goal, or overcome a challenge in silence, you're building a solid foundation of internal evidence. The Stoics valued action over empty rhetoric. They preferred virtue manifested in behavior over grandiloquent words. For them, the true philosopher was not one who talked a lot about wisdom, but one who lived it in their daily life. Confidence feeds on proof, and proof only comes when you get to work. You don't need external validation to start. You need the internal validation that arises from your own actions. Talking a lot about your intentions can also trick your brain into feeling like you've already accomplished something, releasing a hit of dopamine without any actual effort. This makes it harder to then do the real work, creating a cycle of empty promises and eroded self-trust. The quiet doer, the one who consistently puts in the work without fanfare, is building true momentum and real self-worth. Their confidence is rooted in tangible results, not fleeting applause. This internal validation is far more powerful and sustainable. So, if you want to write a book, don't talk about writing it, right? If you want to get in shape, don't talk about exercising, do it. If you want to start a business, don't talk about entrepreneurship. Take the first step. The world is full of people with great ideas and good intentions. What scares are people with consistent action. Advice number 9. Don't compare yourself to anyone. Visual transition. A person focused on their own path, ignoring distractions around them, or a single lighthouse shining without comparing itself to others. One of the most destructive weapons against self-confidence in this age of social media and seemingly perfect lives is comparison. We look at others' lives, their successes, their possessions, their apparent happiness, and automatically measure ourselves against them. The result is almost always a feeling of inadequacy, of not being good enough, of being left behind. But the truth is that every person has their own pace and their own path. You don't know their hidden battles, their sacrifices, their previous failures, or the circumstances that led them to where they are. You compare yourself to an idealized and often incomplete version of reality, and that's a battle you can never win. The Stoics understood the futility of external comparison. For them, the only valid competition was with yourself. The crucial question isn't am I better than my neighbor, but am I better today than yesterday? Have you grown? Have you learned? Have you overcome a personal limitation? Have you taken another step towards the person you want to be? That's the only metric that matters. When you compare yourself, you shift your focus from what you can control, your own actions and progress, to what you cannot control, the lives, talents, or circumstances of others. This not only generates envy and resentment, but also paralyzes you and distracts you from your own journey. The constant curated highlight reels of social media are particularly insidious. They present an impossible standard, a fantasy that no one truly lives up to, not even those posting it. Believing these curated versions of reality is a direct assault on your own self-worth. Your energy is finite. Direct it towards your own growth, not towards the futile exercise of measuring yourself against others. Every moment spent comparing is a moment lost for actual self-improvement. Free yourself from the burden of comparison. Recognize that your path is unique, with its own lessons, its own rhythms, and its own rewards. Celebrate your small victories and learn from your stumbles, without constantly looking over your shoulder. Your only rival is yourself, and that is the only challenge worth accepting. Advice number 10. Remember that you will die. Visual transition. An emptying hourglass, a candle slowly burning down, or a landscape with a dramatic sky and fast-moving clouds, evoking the passage of time. This advice, known in Stoicism as memento mori, remember your death, may sound grim, but it is, in reality, one of the most liberating and motivating reminders that exist. It's not about living in fear of death, but about using the awareness of our finitude as a powerful catalyst to live fully and without regret. Knowing that your time on this planet is limited should inspire you to stop procrastinating your personal growth. Life is too short to live with the fear of not being enough, of not being good enough, of not trying for fear of failure. Every day that passes is one less day you have to build the life and confidence you desire. How many times have you postponed a dream, an important conversation, a necessary change. Thinking that there will be time or that I'll do it tomorrow, the truth is, there's no guarantee of a tomorrow. Your only certainty is the now. The Stoics contemplated death not to become depressed, but to infuse a sense of virtuous urgency into their lives. It reminded them that the only thing they truly possessed was the present moment, and the ability to act with virtue and wisdom within it. Don't live on autopilot. Wake up. Take control of your life today. If you have a fear that paralyzes you, remember that time is running out. If you're doubting your ability, remember that life is finite and you cannot afford the luxury of inaction. The awareness of death liberates you from trivialities, from insignificant worries, and from the need to please others. It forces you to prioritize what truly matters: your character, your meaningful relationships, your contributions to the world, and your own development. This contemplation isn't about morbid fascination, it's about clarity. When faced with the ultimate deadline, petty concerns dissolve, and your true priorities come into sharp focus. It's a powerful tool to cut through procrastination and self-doubt. So, every morning, when you wake up, remember that you have one less day to achieve what you set out to do, and let that thought propel you to act with intentionality, with courage, and with gratitude. Don't wait until you feel like it or until everything is perfect. Your time is now. Your life is now. We've explored these 10 powerful Stoic lessons for rebuilding your self-confidence. We've talked about accepting your vulnerabilities as the first step, building solid character over a superficial image, choosing effort over comfort, acting despite fear, learning from mistakes without punishing yourself, choosing environments that uplift you, being patient with your own pace, letting your actions speak for themselves, freeing yourself from the chains of comparison, and using the finitude of life as your greatest motivation. I want you to understand something very clearly. It's not about listening to these words and feeling motivated for a while. It's about applying them in your daily life. It's about rebuilding yourself, brick by brick, step by step, with patience and persistence. Your confidence isn't a magic button that turns on. It's a muscle that gets trained with every conscious choice, with every small victory, with every time you get up after a fall. So, don't wait to feel completely confident to start this journey, because the truth is this, and I want it to resonate within you.